Spontaneous speaking video 86. Alright, what's up, everyone? So, today I want to talk about it's kind of an extension from a video that I already did before, nuanced nudity. Just a quick recap for those who haven't seen that video yet. Nuanced nudity was essentially a concept that I've come up with, where essentially what I was saying was that the same naked body that may arouse somebody else and draw someone may also be the same naked body that repels somebody else, or disgusts somebody else. Now, of course, I was speaking like that's true literally, but I was speaking metaphorically, in the sense that our vulnerability and how much we express of ourselves can both repel people and attract people. It is up to you to understand that dynamic and that influence, that effect that such things may have on people, and then use that to your discretion. So, a friend of mine recently asked me, like, hey, like she's working on, some of her own material and everything. And her question, actually, I might just ask it verbatim, and then I might like read off what I said so that I can just expound on it from there. But pretty much she asked, hey DZ, I hope you're doing well. I had a question for you. As a blogger slash YouTuber, how do you know what to post and what not to post? For me, it's not that I don't have content to post, especially blogs. It's just I have trouble knowing or discerning what is public and what is private. So pretty much I said, wow, this is such a great question. Okay, to be honest, I pretty much post anything. But what I do is I control the audience in a way. I may have to elaborate when I'm off work, maybe in a voice text, but essentially I always know or have an idea of who won't be watching my content, and pretty much I plant my Easter eggs of vulnerability into my videos, knowing that only few people will see them, and then that means anyone who does actually hear the content will also know me enough to be aware of my vulnerability and appreciate it without exploiting it. Vulnerability creates connection, and that's what I'm always searching for. And I know that those who will most appreciate my vulnerability will be the ones I'm closest to, and will share their own personal things as well. But those who won't read / watch my material. I found that out. When I found that out, it was a world changer. The only thing is that it's a very high gamble. Many people don't have connection because they value their vulnerability way too much and expect each time they're vulnerable to create connection. But the truth is, you'll receive a lot of rejection first. The key is to learn what parts to share that are still valuable but worth sampling, and seeing how people respond to your samples. After you vet that, give them more and more and keep track. Eventually you learn to trust them fully or not at all. Same with what you post. So yeah, clearly that was like a loaded answer. But just to further expound and elaborate on that, as you guys probably already noticed, like my YouTube channel it's kind of strange. And I'm walking a tightrope of trying. It's like I'm not really shooting to be this huge YouTube influencer. It's more of like, if it happens by me doing what I'm doing, great. But what I really want is family. You know what I mean? What I really want are subscribers who I post what I feel like posting, what I've been thinking. And as I post whatever I'm thinking, I can be assured that those who are watching because they actually appreciate and value the things that I'm thinking. Not because I don't post because I'm trying to become famous or because I'm trying to, make money. Although, like I say, like money is good because I kind of need to live, you know what I mean? But those are not my direct objectives. My direct objective for posting is to create intimacy, I guess. And so I plant a whole bunch of Easter eggs of myself within a lot of my video content. Like I wouldn't say that my most explicit, deepest, darkest soul secrets are found in my videos. However, if somebody watches them and pays enough attention, not only could they maybe piece together through intuition like what they could be, but at the least they would know what questions to ask me in order to get there. And in order for them to even ask those questions and for me to tell them, I would identify like, oh wow, the only reason why you're able to ask these questions is because you watch this and you watch that and you watch this. Wow, you've passed the vetting process, at least stage level 5. Let's just say that's stage level 5. Okay, well, because you've taken the time to do all that, then I believe that you have paid enough energy for me to give you back value. My value is now more of my vulnerability that I haven't even shared with my YouTube channel yet. But yeah, that's essentially like how I see it. Like I know that a lot of people say things like, oh yeah, I'm an open book, I'm just hard to read. It's like, okay, like, all right, you're so mysterious and you're so cool. I don't necessarily see myself as mysterious. I see myself as outgoing, but also simultaneously, I see myself as someone who, it all goes back to like the sandboxes kind of thing. For those of you who, follow me on Twitter, or you guys, those of you who rock with me, you know what I'm talking about with sandboxes. And it's exactly that same concept, if I feel like the person's not interested, why would I share that material with you, if I feel like my vulnerability is valuable, and I'm not just going to give that vulnerability to just anyone, but at the same time, I don't want to keep it closed off from everyone too. So what I try to do is I try to walk through that middle. I try to plant it in my videos. So it's like, hey, for those who are actually searching for my vulnerability and to become more intimate with me, they will find it because they're watching enough of my material. Oh, but it's too long, it's too long. No problem. You're not forced to watch anything. You're not forced to read any of my content. You're not forced to follow me. You're not forced to subscribe. You're not even forced to be my friend. None of that. Like, we don't even have to interact. Like, that's all on you, and I do not have a problem with you being that way. But for those who actually do want that access to those certain parts of my heart, they know how to get there because they will put forth the energy necessary. And those are the ones who stand out. And that's kind of my vetting process for the vulnerability, because my vulnerability has value. And that's just how I see it. I think that everybody's vulnerability has value. And so in order to know what content to share, I think that just plays a big part in it. So yeah, when it comes to those of you who are influencers or what, like your social media gurus, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. When it comes to those of you who are doing that and you guys are trying to consider like, hey, like what should I post, what should I not? Again, just understand your level of privacy. Like, I don't mind sharing almost anything with the right people. If I feel like I'm going to share something with you and you're not going to appreciate it, just like the nuanced nudity thing. Like, again, speaking metaphorically, but even then, even in the literal sense, a naked body is beautiful, and it's artistic in the way that I believe that God designed it and everything. And it should not just be for everyone to, view one's naked body and everything, especially if the person's not going to value what they're seeing. And so let alone, to sleep with that naked body. That's a whole different level of intimacy that's exponentially larger. So in the same sense, I'm not going to show my naked body to the whole entire world. But what I do, I guess, if we're, again, speaking metaphorically, is in my videos, I want to arouse people enough so that those who actually want to see, again, metaphorically, I just want to keep on making this big disclaimer. Those who want to see my naked body will know where to find traces of it. Like, oh, in one video, Denzel showed a little bit of arm. In another video, Denzel showed a little bit of chest, over here. And you're starting to put together the parts. And then eventually it's like, oh, shoot, you caught all of these? Well, clearly you want to see it enough that I know that when you do see the whole body, that you won't exploit it. but you'll value it, you'll treasure it, you'll appreciate what you're beholding. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. And so I hope that's making sense. I tried to scale it down from the abstract level the best that I could as I was articulating it. But spontaneous speaking videos, I don't edit these, so yeah. But I hope I'm making sense and I'm clicking with you guys, those of you who actually are watching this. Yeah, I think that's the best way that I can explain at least how I go about my process. I can hide my vulnerability in plain sight, but I never put out everything. I just put out breadcrumbs so that those who are actually looking for the source, they'll know where to find it. And those who decide to give up, well, it's kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Like, well, you didn't deserve it to begin with. If you're hopping off, if you're jumping ship now, then you were never on board. That's how I feel. If you're bored, you were never on board. Like, oh, this video is too long. Okay. Well, I make long videos. These are about what I think. These are my thoughts. If you don't like them enough, again, you're not forced to, but it just so happens I'm not looking for that type of connection. I'm looking for people who do value what I have to say, and vice versa. I value what they have to say, and we're kind of creating our intimacy and our tribe from that level. So yeah, I feel like I've pretty much beat this horse enough. And I think I don't really have any much more to say. So yeah, just leave questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you think about all of this. And feel free to hit me up. Soon, like very soon, my job will be giving me a lot more breaks. And I will be opening coaching up again. I know a lot of people have been emailing me and stuff, trying to get in coaching sessions and stuff like that. And it's like, I have work. Oh, this is my only day off. I kind of don't really want to interact anymore, or like I won't give you quality. But thankfully I'll be having less shifts, and then I can have more time to like post more YouTube content, to coach more. Yeah, a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. And again, just leave me all of your thoughts on all of this. All right, done.